Hi, everyone, and thank you for being here. This training is about supporting families, strengthening workplaces, and understanding lactation rights in New Jersey. This video is for training purposes only and not a substitute for legal advice. Whether you're an employer, employee, or family member, you play an important role in making New Jersey a healthier state to live and work in. This training includes captions and is designed to be accessible to a wide range of learners. Versions are available in Spanish, Haitian Creole, and Portuguese. It is also inclusive of all who feed human milk to their babies, including breastfeeding, chest feeding, and feeding expressed milk. It uses inclusive language and resources wherever possible. Before we begin, you can scan this QR code or visit the link shown on your screen to test your knowledge. By the end of this training, you will understand the benefits of breastfeeding and lactation for both families and workplaces, learn employee lactation rights under New Jersey and federal law, and identify ways to implement lactation-friendly workplace practices. Human milk is the first custom-made food for babies. It contains the exact balance of nutrients like protein, fat, carbohydrates, and water needed for a baby's growth and development. Breastfed infants have lower risks of ear infections, respiratory infections, severe diarrhea, asthma, diabetes, obesity, serious intestinal conditions, and sudden infant death syndrome. That's why health authorities like the American Academy of Pediatrics and the World Health Organization recommend exclusive breastfeeding for about the first 6 months and continued breastfeeding with solid food for 2 years and beyond. For women, lactation is also protective. It is associated with lower risks of postpartum hemorrhage, high blood pressure, heart disease and stroke, and type 2 diabetes. It also provides long-term cardiovascular and heart health benefits. Supporting lactation isn't just good for families, it's good for business. Workplaces that support lactation often see higher employee satisfaction and retention, lower absenteeism, and reduced healthcare and insurance costs. Supporting lactation is a win-win for families and for your bottom line. The problem is that many new moms and parents report that lack of workplace support is a major barrier that causes them to stop breastfeeding early. In New Jersey, both state and federal laws protect lactating employees. These include the New Jersey Law Against Discrimination, also known as the NJ-LAD, and the PUMP Act. Let's start with New Jersey law. The New Jersey Law Against Discrimination applies to all New Jersey employers, regardless of size. That includes not only private businesses, but state and local government agencies. The law protects full-time, part-time, seasonal, per diem, and temporary employees. The NJ-LAD lactation protections do not apply to federal employees or independent contractors. The law requires employers to provide reasonable break time. Most employees need to express milk 2 to 3 times during an 8-hour shift. Each session typically takes 15 to 20 minutes, plus time to travel to the space and back, set up equipment, and clean equipment. Breaks may happen during established break times, or new additional break times may need to be scheduled, depending on the needs of the employee and their baby. The law also requires a private space. This space must meet several conditions. It must not be a bathroom. It must be private, clean, and close to the employee's work area, preferably in the same building. The space must also be available when the employee needs to express milk. At minimum, the space must include a comfortable chair, a flat surface to place the pump on, an electrical outlet, and access to a nearby sink and a refrigerator or other place to store milk. Lactation is considered a pregnancy-related condition, so additional accommodations may also be required under the NJ-LAD. These can include modified work duties, schedule adjustments, worksite changes, and uniform modifications. They may also include adjustments to productivity expectations or quotas due to milk expression break time. Employers must provide lactation accommodations unless they can demonstrate undue hardship. Undue hardship means the accommodation would be extremely difficult or expensive to provide. In most cases, basic lactation accommodations are considered reasonable. New Jersey law also protects employees who express milk from retaliation, harassment, and hostile work environments, whether that harassment comes from employers or other employees. Employees cannot be punished or treated unequally or unfavorably for requesting or using lactation accommodations. Federal law through the PUMP Act protects federal workers not covered by the NJ-LAD, such as post office workers and employees of federal agencies. The PUMP Act also requires break time to express milk and a private, non-bathroom space for up to 1 year after the birth of the child, unless it creates an undue hardship for the employer. Together, these laws provide strong protections for workers. Having a clear, written lactation policy that is shared with workers during onboarding and again during pregnancy can help everyone in the workplace understand the accommodations they are eligible for. It can also help prevent communication issues by establishing a clear timeline and communication process so employees know how to request accommodations and employers know what to expect. Finally, it shows that your workplace is a supportive environment for lactation. Is there a time limit on pumping rights? No. New Jersey law does not set a time or age limit. What anti-discrimination protections are available for employees? The LAD prohibits employers from punishing, threatening, or retaliating against employees who seek accommodations. The law also forbids an employer from creating a hostile work environment for an employee who asks for or uses accommodations. If lactation rights are violated, employees can file a complaint with the New Jersey Division on Civil Rights. What if my employer is based in New Jersey, but my position is outside the state? The New Jersey LAD's protections extend broadly to workers of New Jersey-based companies. Satellite offices, remote work, and travel work are all covered by New Jersey law. Do employees need a doctor's note? No. Employers cannot require medical documentation to provide breastfeeding accommodations. What is not considered an undue hardship? Undue hardship is a high legal standard. It does not include inconvenience, scheduling challenges, or minor costs. Most workplace lactation accommodations are considered reasonable and expected under the law. For example, these would not be considered undue hardships. We don't have a dedicated lactation room. The only private space is a bathroom. We're too busy and can't spare coverage. Must break time for expressing milk be paid time? An employee who expresses milk during usually paid break times or who continues to work while expressing milk must be paid. What are other examples of lactation-related accommodations? Some examples include adjusting duties and uniform requirements, excusal from long-distance travel, time off or remote work for needs or conditions such as mastitis, and temporary transfer to avoid contact with toxic chemicals or hazards that can contaminate human milk. Even in high-demand roles, lactation accommodations are still required, and employers and workers can find solutions that work. For example, Danielle is a public school teacher in New Jersey. Her day is structured around class periods with one break time and a 30-minute lunch period. At first, her school expressed concern that allowing additional break time would be difficult to schedule and disruptive for students. But under New Jersey law, this is not considered an undue hardship. So the school created a plan to support her. Danielle was given access to a private room that was not a bathroom and was close to her classroom. Her schedule was slightly adjusted so she could express milk at consistent times. A paraprofessional and neighboring teacher helped provide brief classroom coverage during designated times in the day. With these changes, the classroom continued to run smoothly, and Danielle was able to continue her work without sacrificing her health or her child's needs. Maya is a healthcare worker in a New Jersey hospital. Her schedule includes long shifts, rounds, and patient care responsibilities. At first, her supervisor worried that providing breaks to express milk would disrupt patient care and place extra burden on other busy staff. But under New Jersey law, this is not considered an undue hardship. The hospital worked with Maya to create a plan. She was able to step away 2 to 3 times during her shift, while a colleague briefly covered her patients. She was also given access to a private lactation space close to her work area. Over time, the team adjusted their workflow, so coverage became routine. With planning and communication, Maya was able to meet both her clinical responsibilities and her health needs. Maria works as a server at a fast food restaurant from late morning through dinner hours. She also works overtime some days. At first, her employer told her she would be unable to express milk during busy mill rush times. Rush times are unpredictable and can be earlier or later than expected. And the restaurant does not have an office or extra room where Maria could pump. But under New Jersey law, these are not considered undue hardships. Maria and her manager worked together to schedule her lactation breaks outside of rush periods. When that was not possible, her manager or shift supervisor filled in for her. Maria was allowed to use a clean storage room with a door, a table, and a chair as a lactation space. If the storage room became full, her manager created a lactation space using portable divider screens. While a screened area is less desirable, it may be a solution where no other private space is available. Lisa is a police officer in New Jersey. When she returned to work after having her baby, her department initially determined that providing time and space to express milk while she was on patrol would be difficult to manage. But under New Jersey law, accommodating Lisa did not create an undue hardship. Instead, Lisa was temporarily assigned to desk duty during her regular shifts. This meant she was not required to wear a bulletproof vest. And it allowed her to take reasonable breaks and access a private, comfortable space to pump. When it came time for evaluations and promotions, she was not penalized for this temporary adjustment. With planning and flexibility, Lisa was able to continue police work while maintaining a milk supply for her baby. Here are a few places you can go for more information by visiting the link or scanning the QR code shown on screen. First, njsupportsbreastfeeding.org. The NJ Attorney General's Office guidance on workplace accommodations for pregnant, postpartum, breastfeeding, and lactating employees. The New Jersey Breastfeeding Coalition's page on breastfeeding and employment. The New Jersey Division on Civil Rights handout on workplace accommodations for breastfeeding and lactation. The New Jersey Attorney General's guidelines on protocols regarding pregnant officers. And finally, the Business Case for Breastfeeding Toolkit from the U.S. Office on Women's Health. Before we close, let's review the key takeaways. Lactation is a normal, healthy part of early parenting, and supporting it benefits everyone. It improves health outcomes for families and helps workplaces retain experienced, committed employees. New Jersey law and federal law together provide strong protections for lactating workers. Employees have a responsibility to communicate their needs to their employer. They also have the right to break time to express milk and a private space that is not a bathroom. They may also need adjustments to their schedule or duties, and in most cases, these are considered reasonable. Workers are protected from harassment, retaliation, and hostile work environments from any employer or employee. And undue hardship is a high legal standard that is not about inconvenience. Most lactation accommodations are expected under the law. As we've seen, even in complex work environments, solutions are possible. When employers, supervisors, and workers plan ahead, communicate clearly, and work together to support lactation, they create environments where employees feel supported and can continue to contribute at their highest level. Thank you for being part of creating a healthier, more equitable, and lactation-friendly workplace in New Jersey. Please scan this QR code or visit the link shown on your screen to complete a post-training quiz. For more information, please visit njsupportsbreastfeeding.org.